'cause two can keep a secret if one of them is dead.
This is awkward. So before I start begging and pleading and groveling, I just want to say that I did actually start off with a really good, legitimate reason as to why this review was late. Some of you guys might know this because I mentioned it in a couple comments on my videos, but the weekend after the finale I actually broke my foot, and so that's why the video didn't get made that weekend like it normally would have. And so I went to the doctor and was put into this boot, this bad boy right here, for over a month. And I filmed my reviews on the floor in case you couldn't tell, just because that's the way I've found works best for me so far. And so because of the boot, I was not able to comfortably sit on the floor for the good 45 minutes it usually takes me to film a review, so I didn't. So then that's why during that chunk of time, about a month and a half, the review did not get made because I couldn't really film it. So I think we'd all agree that that's a pretty justified excuse, although I probably could have made a quick video explaining that at the time, just to keep you in the loop. But anyway, so yeah, at the time, that was my reason for the video being late. But then eventually it did get to the point where my foot was pretty much good to go, I didn't have to wear the boot all the time, and I very well could have made the review. But here's the thing, it wasn't that I didn't want to at all, I swear. I seriously just kept forgetting about it, because at that point so much time had passed since the finale that it just wasn't something I was thinking about. And it would be one of those things where I would like be in the middle of doing something and then it would just randomly pop in my head like, oh yeah, I really need to do that. But then I would just go back to what I was doing and then forget about it all over again for like 3 weeks. Not to mention, that was final season, so this girl was busy. So then, once it got to be like the middle of May, it was to a point where I was like, you know what? We're starting to see previews for the new season now. You know there's gonna be a marathon here soon. Everyone's getting excited again and like back in Pretty Little Liars mode. These guys have waited this long. I'm just gonna wait until the week before the premiere, because then it's kind of like a kickstart back into Pretty Little Liars season. You know what I mean? Like, this week you'll have the review of the finale, and next week you'll have the review of the premiere. You know? Or at least that was what I was thinking. Maybe that was the wrong way to go. Either way, and regardless of everything, I am sincerely sorry that you guys had to wait a good 3 months for this review. I really am. But that will not happen this season, I promise, because it is summer now, and I have much more free time, and so you can probably expect for the reviews to actually be going up the next day, like old times. But since I did make you guys wait so long, I want to make it up to you by giving you guys some power. The content of my next video, other than the review of next week's premiere, will be completely up to you guys, meaning that I will make my next video about anything that you guys want to see. Whether that's another question and answer video, a tag, maybe a vlog, a haul, a room tour, a dare, possibly a review of another show. Really, anything as long as it's not like disgusting or inappropriate, just like within reason, I'll do it. Some of you guys might know this because I mentioned it in a couple comments on my videos, but the weekend after the finale I actually broke my foot, and so that's why the video didn't get made that weekend like it normally would have. Yeah, I realize that I could very well end up regretting this, so please just do me a solid and let's not get crazy. Okay, so if there's a certain type of video you want to see me make next week, then leave a comment below telling me what you'd like to see, and then on Friday I will look at the comments and see what is most requested and I will make it. I hope that at least kind of makes up for me failing at life. And now, it is time for the moment we've all been waiting for. Drumroll, please. The review of the finale of Pretty Little Liars. What? Get excited. Now, I understand that you guys probably don't even remember what happened in the finale since it was so long ago, so if I were you, I would recommend looking it up and rewatching it on abcfamily.com real quick, or at least skimming through it or looking up a summary or something so you're not completely lost during this. So, many weeks ago was the finale of the second half of the 3rd season of Pretty Little Liars, and the episode was called A Dangerous Game. Am I the only one who feels like Emily and Toby aren't even that close of friends for real anymore? Like, yeah, they used to be, like 2 seasons ago, but I can't even remember the last time we saw them hang out or like have a legit conversation or act like they were best friends in the longest time. So it's bugging me that that's still a thing that's happening. Like Emily and Toby supposedly being best friends and like being like this and being so close. It's like, stop trying to convince me of that because I don't see it. It's not happening. It's not real. Why did Arya like jump down Hannah's throat when she asked Spencer about the crumpets versus English muffin thing? Like she couldn't believe she was asking that or something. Like, how dare you ask Spencer about the crumpets and her fragile state? I don't know, I just thought it was very misplaced and weird. Again, I ask, what happened to the inventory from the Halloween store? I don't understand. It's a big deal and it's just getting swept under the rug. I don't get it. And I bet it doesn't even get brought up again because we all know that this show is just notorious for its consistency. Jenna, long time no see. See what I did there? Yeah, okay, no way would you be able to text on a touchscreen phone with those leather gloves on, A. Get real. And get those new gloves they sell now where you actually can text on a touchscreen phone because technology is cray. But I do like how that was the first time we actually saw A send a text. Okay, honestly, who asks for resumes from babysitters? Especially when you know the person and you're dating one of their best friends. Alright, it really pisses me off that Shauna, whatever the hell her name is apparently some big character now. Like, she's been in, what, 3 episodes, and all of a sudden she's working with Melissa and Jenna and might be on the A-team? Like, no, girlfriend. You have to work your way up to achieve that status. So, I can't decide if I think Arya's being ridiculous by breaking up with Ezra or not, because on one hand, I understand that things just aren't really working out and it's not the same anymore and they're pretty rocky lately, and just from my own personal standpoint, their relationship has been super boring anyway, so I don't really care on that hand. But on the other hand, it's like they've been working so hard to be together, and now that they finally are, I feel like she's kind of just giving up. But either way, I actually don't really care that much that they're broken up. Yeah, I said it. Oh my god, we finally know who Pretty Eyes is. Like, for sure. And it's the Tobster. I was pretty sure he was alive, but I didn't expect him to be Pretty Eyes, although I guess he does have pretty eyes. And trust me guys, I really, really, really want to believe him when he says that he did all this just to protect Spencer, but I just can't yet. This show has made me permanently and terminally skeptical, so blame it on every other character that's lied to me. Side note, where's Paige? It is about damn time they realize that A sees and hears everything. Way to put on that music, Hannah. Let me just say, it is good to see Spencer wearing makeup again. I would take Mona a lot more seriously if she wasn't so short. Like, I never realized how short she was until this episode. Everyone just towers over her. Except for Arya, she's pretty short too. So I'm very curious to know who burned the house down because I don't know if you guys noticed this, but whoever it was wearing like a dark brown canvas jacket, not a black hoodie. And you would think that if it was someone on the A-team, they would be wearing a black hoodie, right? So that's very interesting to me. Well, that's just great. Now all the girls are gonna think that Toby's the one who set the house on fire and that he's not really on their side, even though I'm not fully convinced yet that that's not true, but they're gonna think it regardless if it's true or not, and that's annoying. So much like the rest of America, I went into this finale expecting to find out for sure who Redcoat was. Like, without question. Like, I was fully expecting it to be a Toby betrayer situation where like they turn around, we see a face, and boom, that's it, mystery solved. That's silly me. It wouldn't be Pretty Little Liars without more confusion. So what do? They give us a half-ass answer. Even though it's very implied that it's Allie, it still wasn't a clear-cut answer. I'm guessing it isn't actually Ellie though, I'm guessing it's her twin, but even still, they just built it up so much that it was gonna be this huge reveal and like that was gonna be it. And it's like, okay, Redcoat was kind of revealed, but not really. Like, why couldn't you have made this one thing easy for us? This one thing. Why? Like, don't we suffer enough? Okay, so I'm confused. But what else is new? According to Mona's little spiel in the car with the girls at the end, everything that happened with Redcoat supposedly started happening once she was already in Radley. Yet clearly there was stuff happening before Radley because obviously the A-team was going on and everything. And if you'll recall, in the finale episode where we found out that Mona was A, she gets the visit from Redcoat and she says to her, "I've done everything you asked me to do," which definitely implies that everything Mona had done up until that point, including everything before Radley, was part of everything that Redcoat asked her to do. Am I right? So, I don't know. What are you smoking, Mona? And let me get this straight. Okay, so she was just wearing a mask, insinuating that when Hannah saw Allie pulling her out of the fire, that wasn't really Allie, it was just someone wearing a mask that just so happened to look exactly like Allie in every way. And that's why you don't know who she is? Pardon my French, but the fuck? Now, I've heard plenty of stupid things on this show, that's for sure, but this one just takes the cake. Like, I can't even wrap my mind around how much sense that does not make. Not to mention, you've also heard her voice, and yet you still can't tell who she is? Because, I mean, I highly doubt she's using a voice changer 24/7. I just can't with the stupidity anymore, actually. So, just from a technical standpoint, why did Spencer say guys look at the trunk? I get that they had to look at the trunk, but I mean, there wasn't anything suspicious about the trunk as far as I could tell. It's not like there was a big flashing arrow pointed to it or anything. Really? Really? Who do you guys think you are giving us a cliffhanger like that? It's totally a body though. Think about it, what else could cause them to react like that? Plus, I mean, we've all seen the previews at this point where they're all wearing black, so funeral. And if it is a body, my money's on Jason or Cece. And for my favorite line of the episode, it is from Hannah, and it's where she's talking about Shauna, Shanna, whatever, and it's where she says, I hate her. She flirts with everyone but me. And let me just say one more thing before I wrap this up. Is anyone else feeling the immense pain and sadness that I am feeling knowing that after this season of Pretty Little Liars, Caleb is leaving for freaking Ravenswood? Yeah, have you heard about that? Because that's happening. How can they do that to me? Like, who am I gonna swoon over every week now? I don't really care about Arya and Ezra anymore, and plus they're pretty much donezo anyway. Lord knows I could care less what Emily does with her life, let alone who she's dating. And I just don't even know about Spencer and Toby anymore because they're so up and down. Like, seriously, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Y'all know me. You know I need my Caleb. I don't want to watch freaking Ravenswood. Like, who are you? You don't even go here. Anyway, I'm gonna end this now because this video has gone on long enough. But there it is, your long overdue review of the Pretty Little Liars season finale. I will see you guys next week for the review of the premiere. Bye!
'Cause two can keep a secret if one of them is dead.